and I am good to go.
All right. Ooh. All right, are we live?
I believe so, yes.
Whoa, we're live! What?
Yes.
We're live and well. Having a grand old time in the DBA Roll20.
Yeah, oh buoy indeed, Imogen. Yep.
Give people a little bit of time to filter in. I'm gonna go give my cat a little bit of extra water ballast to give us a little more time. So, entertain the stream while I'm gone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, guys, how are you guys doing? Gonna be... I was allowed to choose what character would be granted this opportunity, as it were, and I chose Aaron. Funny fruit, man. It is the second time, novice, but it wasn't me the first time. That was James. Funny fruit man indeed, Quinn.
What has you done this time?
I don't know what you mean, Poco, because I don't really know much of what's happened, honestly, but except that effectively, with a few of the chain of events, effectively, is that Sloth didn't want to meet Aaron, but with with point A to point B to point C, Aaron is going to be meeting an individual known as Lust, and then from there, we'll be getting a chance to meet Sloth. But that's all I really know. So, more or less on the same page there.
Hello, I'm back.
Welcome back. I was just explaining, Aaron's gonna be meeting a couple of interesting people, and other than that, I'm on the same page as the chat is, of who knows what's going on.
Yeah, it's a fun little thing that just kinda happened, and I'm like, okay. So yeah. Well, with that, Ballast, you've already introduced yourself, I imagine.
Yes.
And I've introduced... Well, hi, I'm Rob. I'm the one who holds himself accountable for certain things within his own story and everything. And, the dice were kind of like, hey, you should do this. And I'm like, okay, I guess we're doing this. So yeah, I was not expecting this to happen at any point. But this is these things happen. All right. So, without further ado, let's get started. So, Aaron, like I've mentioned a couple times to you now, a little green sapling creature akin to those you saw in The Broken Promise Part 3 seemingly appeared within your household or abode or wherever you found yourself, and through the connection you established in that episode, you are able to tell that it is simply here to deliver you to the location of where things can get going. You are already aware of the situation and, what's going to happen. At least as much as, Yeah. But yeah, and with that, I'm assuming you just follow it?
Yeah, more or less, yeah.
So you follow it outside, and it leads you to one of the many trees that dot your kingdom and the like. And it simply walks into it. Disappears.
What is this, fucking
You
Harry
follow?
Potter? God fucking... Okay. Yeah, he just kind of like like starts to roll his eyes, is like, no, they're probably watching me, and then just walks into the tree, or at least attempts to thereof.
Aaron, as like the first step, the first when you touch it, basically, you feel yourself like just pulled in, as your mind seems to go wibbly and wobbly, really unable to perceive what's happening and where you're traveling, as seemingly within an instant, you find yourself within a clearing of a forest of some sorts. However, the first thing you can tell is that this is not the most healthy of forests. As you look around, you can see that there are seemingly an endless expanse of dead vegetation, trees. You can see that there are multiple more little saplings scattered about, seemingly doing their own things, and you can see 3 healthy-looking trees. However, the thing that seems to catch your eye the most is a relatively large and tall figure sitting on what you can only describe as a throne of branches and dead wood. So, Aaron, what do you do?
Just kind of... Sorry, map is just a tiny bit laggy because of the tinting, so I was just... yeah, all right.
My apologies.
No, it's not your fault. It's roll 20. Just kind of dusts off one of his shoes and clears his throat before heading on forward.
You see the one that brought you here scampers off with its other 2 friends as they begin playing chase around the tree. Aaron, give me a roll.
Alright.
As you're becoming more and more adjusted to this place. So Aaron,
Yeah.
first thing you're able to tell is that you're in a completely different plane of reality.
Yeah, okay. Makes sense to an extent, I guess.
And then the second thing you can tell is that the only thing in this plane of reality is everything that you can currently see. Everything else seems to be gone. Somewhere else.
To make things simple, exactly to what do I owe this pleasure? Whoever it is that you are.
The name... You are Aaron, correct? You're not some person that they brought here.
No, I'm Aaron, no me, yeah.
Good. Oh, 7th one. For the sake of, let's say, not trying to confuse you, you can call me Lust.
Alright.
Do you know why I've brought you here, Aaron?
A little bit. Not fully, to say the least.
Well, how do I explain this then? Let's just say that there is an associate of mine who, for some reason, likes to randomly pull and select people to just talk to. It's crazy. That's all he does. All day, every day. I don't get it, and I don't really care to get it. What the point is that for some reason, you were one of those randomly selected few, and he decided to change the rules of his own game that he was playing and refused to talk to you. And, well, let's just say that I didn't think that was really fair. You're an interesting person, and I'm sure you and him would have a lot to talk about. Even if he doesn't want to.
Alright. I guess I can understand that to some extent.
And so I intervened on, well, not necessarily your behalf, but just trying to make sure that he's following the rules that he set for himself all those years ago. Now, Aaron, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not necessarily doing this out of the pure kindness of my heart. There is something that I would have interest in. Something that you can make for me. What do you call those things you grow?
Oh, you mean this? He reaches into his coat and pulls out a fruit, tosses it up and down a second. I took the name from a piece of media as well as the concept that I enjoy. They're called devil fruits.
Well, I would be very, very interested in you attempting to try and make one of those devil fruits from the powers of my associate. Be very, very interested in what that would make.
Alright, so I know you're not human, and I assume that they aren't either, but are they an epithet user, or is it just merely of whatever version of not human they are that it would be? Because if it's like just pure magic or something, I can't really do anything about that.
No, they use, what did she call it? He uses what is known as an antonomasia. An word of power that was created by the intricacies of magic. Or a form of magic, I should say.
I've heard of it vaguely before, considering. But I have not had the chance to meet anyone with one before. So, I would be interested to see, considering I know it works with aliases, it might work with antonomasias. I would be interested to find out it myself, at least.
Well, I'm glad we are both curious. I will also say he won't be very willing to just give it to you, you know? So you're going to have to... Oh, how should I say this? They seemingly, stop with what they're saying. As you can see them kind of shift a little uncomfortably in their seat. I happen to be one of the few entities that are able to peer and know what should not be known. And I happen to know that on one of your jobs, you happen to come across something that could, well, impress my associate.
Aaron just kind of looks into the far distance, which obviously isn't that far considering what you said earlier. Considering what I could assume that to be, I would need to make a stop home real quick because I do not carry that on me because I'm not a fucking moron.
Oh. It belongs to you.
I mean...
all you need to do is call for it.
Yeah, I understand that. I just don't want to have to worry about any side effects doing that would entail.
I can assure you, it will simply appear, if you will it so.
Alright, understood. But I have it on decent authority that, messing with that is not in my best interest. So, while I will be fine with bringing it out if necessary, I would rather have some sort of assurance that I won't need to use it for anything. Considering.
Well, I will simply just say if you aren't planning on using it, well, you won't even be able to make him bleed. Or even get that little bit of that antonomasia to make your fruit. You have two options, Aaron. You either continue with this meeting and use it, or they point at one of the living trees. You can leave.
Alright. Okay. In which case, I will ask... Alright, so you want me to do this to see what would happen, or some equivalent, yeah?
Not necessarily what would happen. I am more interested in the fruits of your labor.
Alright, alright.
Because, rest assured, I already know what will happen. if you manage to succeed.
Mm-hmm. So, in which case, I generally believe in quid pro quo. And while this seems more like you are offering me an opportunity, in which case you have all right to deny this, considering he gestures to this place that, you seem to be a very interesting individual yourself. I'm fine with going forward and doing that, but I want to make sure that I make some sort of... I guess the word would be profit, as I would have picked up from an acquaintance of mine. If I could get a sample of your blood before I go on and meet this other individual, I would appreciate it, most certainly.
Alas, I don't bleed. However, you see them go up to one of their antlers, and there is a loud snapping noise as they break off one of their twigs. I'm sure this will do the trick as they toss it towards you.
He picks it up, looks it over, and probably...
Yeah?
Yep.
Yeah, I'll DM Zanza what that would be.
And unless they would directly heal me afterwards, how much would you say that would cost, out of curiosity, my compatriot?
Wait, I'm sorry, I had zoned out. What are you getting a sample from?
A Lust's Horn. Antler.
I DM'd you what basically it would be. Unless you want to say otherwise.
Considering I know Lust's deal, fucking... God, can I charge you max stamina for your thing?
It's not inherently written as such, but if... Bro, up to you.
Look, it's just...
I'm not complaining, yeah. I'm just, it's up to you is what I would say.
It's pretty good. I'm gonna say that's gonna be like a chunky, like, 8 max stamina.
Does it have any go-to special, or is it just a really good one, would you say?
It's just special.
Alright.
For reasons that will become clear when you have developed it.
Sounds good to me. 20 max stamina. Oof, baby. I know, yeah. I am at 20 now is what I am saying.
I'm sorry, weren't you at 40 like a moment ago?
No, because that was the wrong token because of the Roll20 glitch thing, where it's like, unless you open it up, it's an old version.
Yeah, okay.
For the first time in his life, Aaron is below his original starting max stamina.
Alright.
Oh, you know, well, Placeholder gives an excellent point in chat. How about 7 because of Rob plot number?
No, Zanza says 8.
Damn it.
No, I'm not putting you to 21. That's even scarier.
Exactly. That's why that's... Damn. It's fine. I'll just crit and gain up to 21 late in a second. Alright, he just carves off and puts a piece of the chunk in a small vial as he just fucking spits up some blood. Yeah, no, alright. If this is what I'm getting from you, I think whatever side effects of that might occur, I'm fine with them. If this is what the type of stuff that I'm dealing with today, sure, I'm very much interested in this antonomasia now.
Good. Well, they gesture to Yora, right, Aaron, as you can see one of the trees begin to kind of like shake a little bit. Step through there, and you will speak with him.
As an aside, do you want to try one of my fruits before I continue? Because I don't know if I'll be swinging back here afterwards.
Oh, well, I should say if you are able to gain a fragment of that antonomasia, I would be more than willing to provide the area for you to grow it, because, well, how do I say this? If you were to grow it on your own, well, there would be ample opportunity for someone to come in and take it.
I will just tell you, Rob, the way that the devil fruits work is that Aaron does not know which fruit is which until after they're eaten. He just grows them together.
Oh! Oh,
that's why. That's why the fruit is rolled each time they're eaten.
Yeah.
Because they all look the exact same.
Well, here's the thing. That's how they think it works. They think you just kind of grow it.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, I just wanted to make sure you, on a meta level, knew that.
Yeah.
Because I feel a sloth would know that at the very least, considering.
Yeah. He knows. Yeah, well, if, yes, well, if you're offering the extended hand, you can see, the roots that wrap around their entire body and being, kind of course up their arm a little bit and wrap around their fingers. It seems, I will mention, that the roots are more puppeting the body than the body moving on its own.
I see.
As they hold out a hand.
He will gently put down a fruit within the palm.
You see it kind of just dissolve into their being. What is it?
It is a D49 currently of the written ones.
As it begins to, like, dissolve, you see them kind of shift a little uncomfortably in their seat. Oh.
That's a... Oh, 48.
Alright.
Oh, 48.
Let's see, 48 is the Poke no Mi model Rhyhorn. I can
want to become a Rhyhorn.
Post it for you. I doubt this person is interested in becoming a Rhyhorn, but just in case.
They're not. I will have to decline on this fruit. I'm not too keen on it.
Fair enough. In any case, I have other things to be dealing with then, as he steps into the tree.
Alright. Oh boy, Ballast. Hope you're ready.
Yep.
Aaron, as you step through, it's a lot different than the first time. You realize that, like before, it's instantaneous, but, upon walking through and coming out the other side, you feel an immense presence. As, just as your body naturally reacts, you can feel yourself, like your mind, your everything, your will just compress into like a small little sphere.
I can't.
And then
yeah. I just wanted to make sure you knew that map was unrevealed. Yep.
I know.
Yep.
And then in the next moment, amount of time passes that you can't necessarily perceive, as it kind of just happens as you're like in this, as you're experiencing it, and then you're back as you stand face to face with an entity that doesn't look too pleased to see you.
Out of character. DOS motherfucker right now, huh? Sorry. Alright. Interesting. I'm in the void. Did not expect that. After being in the dead forest of lust. Oh. Uh-huh. Alright. Okay.
You have 7 attempts to impress me.
Alright. In which case, I guess I should get started strongly. As he takes out one of his other 2 fruits and eats it. And he's going to use a go-to special. Oh, you know what? Let me just roll to see if he will use a go-to special. He might be lucky enough. I assume that lust has immediately caused the Rhyhorn fruit to just pass through their system. Is no longer in the and is no longer in them. So I'll just roll 49. So that is which one? 27? 27. Interesting. Fruits of the devil. Give me a second. My mouse did the thing that it likes to do when I'm streaming, which is, you know, the cursor fucking disappeared, which I fucking hate so much. There we go. Alright. Now let me double check 27. 27 is the Gaijin no Mi model Genomite. Which is definitely an interesting fruit, to say the least, but I need to see things for it to be interesting, so I will use a go-to special slot, using my talent. And as he does so, after swallowing the fruit, Aaron and his hair start to change and shift as they bleed an ethereal black energy as he has consumed the Yami Yami no Mi. Alright. You're like fucking insane. So I don't know if this will work, but you never know until you try, you know? As he's going to extend an arm. Kurozu.
Kurozu, huh?
Yep.
Exercise way once grapple. As long as they remain grappled, that person has access to all special powers they have. This means they lose all epithet powers, any magic powers, or their dead fruit, etc., leaving only their own skills, as if they were an unremarkable Mundi. But they aren't human, are they? This person is grappled, of course. You, of course, lose access to one of your arms, which is busy grappling the person, which can make some of your actions weaker and unavailable. As long as under effects of Kurozu, you may use any of their abilities that you are aware of. It does not give you access to once per combat or greater limited skills, and any times you use from this will take away from your own anytime usage for the round. Aaron.
Yep.
You do that. You realize that you are not alone with this entity in this room, and there is in fact something else entirely that you can't seem to wrap your mind around, as they are taken by Kurozu.
Fucking... Okay. Alright.
You're able to touch him. That's one point.
So, with me holding on to this thing, even if I cannot understand it, what happens to this other conceptual entity with all of their like, it obviously, it's weird considering the circumstance, but is there any noticeable change within this zone with the powers of Kurozu sealing this conceptual entity off, as it were?
Not really. You can tell. I'll give you that. You can tell that it was seemingly guarding the big man. And you can also tell that it seems to be a machine of some sorts.
Alright. So, I don't know who you are, but you're not the one that I'm trying to deal with right now. As he's just holding on to, I don't know if it's struggling or anything against him.
You seem to have turned it off for the most part.
Now, before I take another action, can I make like a perception or otherwise sense check to see if that was the only one of these around here, or if there are any others?
You can tell that it was the only one.
All right. So Aaron is going to extend his other arm, and in doing so, let's try that again. Oh, you bitch, you almost 20'd. You had to cuck me. Oh.
Doing the same thing twice in a row. Boring.
Fine then. Is everyone just kind of like... Yeah. Alright. Yeah. Considering everything that he has... Yeah, alright. I don't have anything else particularly interesting, so I'm gonna have to do what your associate, as it were, said might be interesting to you. As he's going to just do a slight little whistle, as it were, Rob.
Yeah. As you give that slight little whistle, it seems, first off, that it's here, it's around, but it's not able... How do I word this? It can act, it can move, it will follow what you desire it to, but you're just going to have to trust that it will hit its mark. You can't really see it.
And as he does this slight little whistle... Yeah, let's go for a nick on the ear, why don't we? And yeah... Yeah. Do you need me to roll for that, or does it just happen?
Please, give me a roll. Alright. With that, you hear it whistle as it flies towards Sloth, and you, Aaron, can feel it as it gets closer. You can feel it like hit something, basically. And for a split second, you think, oh shit, he's got some impenetrable wall bullshit defense thing. And then it passes through. And there is a look of surprise on his face as there is now a little trick of blood bleeding down his ear.
I see. So you happen to have an arrow. It's been such a long time since someone has made me bleed. Arrow no me. I wonder, is that all you can make it do? attack me? Come now. It can do so much more.
Alright. Now, in which case, excuse me for being such a lesser being, but I'm not fully aware, particularly. So I'll just have to do some experimentation then. And he's going to do a slight another whistle, and what he's going to basically want for it to do is strike onto this void of a plane and basically try to warp it and see if he can get us back onto Lust's plane. See if that's a somewhat of a property of this thing, as it were.
Give me a roll.
Yep.
Fucking love this shit. Aaron,
As you will it to basically fuck with this area, you feel it begin to like jam straight into the ground and twist and turn as you can feel this place that you're in begin to pull towards the point as you and the entity you're holding and Sloth are all pulled towards the center as well, seems like you did something right. However, something seems a little bit off. Lust and everything around you seems to be frozen solid. Like, everything is at a standstill.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I had a feeling that they were up to something. 2 more.
That
What
was
else
my
can you
4th
do?
thing. I'm ticking up as I do
Oh.
each thing specifically.
3 more.
Alright.
How far will you take your experimentation?
There's one thing that I've thought about doing with this thing before, but I've already been warned against that by someone that I can believe, well, not necessarily has my better interests at heart, has their better interests at heart, and doing it at current isn't part of that. In which case, yeah. Okay.
Also, when the flush happened, you felt you dragging the entity along, but now that you're in fresh reality, they don't seem to be here anymore.
Yeah, they weren't dragged along, I see. Okay.
Come now.
Oh, I was telling her.
Options.
I was telling her that he reaches into his coat pocket and pulls out a fruit. I was telling her about these because she was asking what they were called. They're called devil fruits. I don't know if you've read One Piece. I assume not. But there's a thing in One Piece. Like, obviously, as you know, I can eat these to get these powers that I currently have. There's a thing in One Piece that I've not currently figured out how to do, at least in reality. But I'm curious. And he's going to make a small whistle. And he's going to try to have it pierce through and eat the devil fruit.
Alright. You should. I would say with that, things are kind of in Zanza's boat right now.
I'm sorry, what is your question?
Aaron, not knowing the full capabilities of what this arrow is like, you know what, since we're doing some testing, some hypothesization, as it will, there's a thing in One Piece that I've not learned how to do myself yet, and I am curious, considering this is a weird reality warping object, as it were, and he's trying to have the arrow eat the devil fruit. Because of, the thing in One Piece where objects eat fruits.
Give me a roll.
Alright. 15.
You try it around, and as much as you think you can sort of dimensionally warp and manipulate these, you can't quite figure out how you would use the arrow to turn the devil fruit into, like, you think you'd have to, like, turn the devil fruit into energy that also retains its, like, conceptual and physical properties, and then you would somehow also need to be able to control that and, like, put it into an item. And it's also weird because, from reading One Piece, you're pretty sure that it would fail if it were anything other than a Zoan, and without being able to tell what it is until you put it in, there's a lot of things. Point is, you don't think that you can quite do it with the arrow as much as maybe the arrow could be a component of such a maneuver.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense. Like, you think you could theoretically turn a devil fruit into energy with, like, a high enough roll, but, like, don't know how you would then put that energy into something with the arrow, realistically.
Okay. Well, that didn't work, but it's shed some light on some areas in which I could test some more later and figure that out a bit more concretely, I guess would be the word. Shame though, that would have been very interesting in my opinion. In which case, 2 more attempts, as it were. Well, Alright. So, would you say in that case, Zanza, that the arrow got rid of the fruit, or is it just kind of like it didn't work?
Like, you tested it on a fruit, and you, like, turned it into, like, pure energy. Not that you know which fruit it was. And now it just sort of is floating around and is dissipating.
Alright.
Without you really being able to manipulate that energy.
In which case, as the energy is fading, Aaron would like to try and reach out to it, especially with his Yami Yami no Mi powers, and just try to take it into himself, using his, what the fuck am I? My brain is short-circuiting.
Kurozu.
Not with Kurozu, but Kurozu being basically a component, using, deal with the devil, effectively. He's doing the Blackbeard thing of eating a second devil fruit, but using the Yami Yami to take in the energy, effectively, to do so.
Alright. You can use your talent to eat a second devil fruit, yes?
Yeah.
And you can absorb the stuff with it, yes?
Yeah. So I don't know if you would consider that the 6th thing, Rob. I'm fine with that. If it is or if it isn't, I just am going to be doing that. So that he gets a second fruit.
I'll say he'll give you that freebie.
Alright, sounds good to me. Alright.
He's more curious on what you're trying to do.
Alright. As Aaron consumes the energy, takes it into himself. I don't know how impressive it might be to someone like a god, but at least to us humans, we take certain creatures with reverence, as it were. Primarily among them, as Aaron is going to spend a move action, being dragons, and he's going to merge into a hybrid blue dragon. Give me a second. I gotta refresh. Roll 28 screwed me over.
I
And
need to ask: Is this Kaido Blue
this
Dragon?
is
or
Kaido's
this
Blue
BB?
Dragon.
This is Kaido Blue Dragon.
Yeah. He's not the full form, because he has to use the move action to become the hybrid, but he is getting big.
Hmm. Come on now. I'm assuming that's not all that you were planning on doing.
Give me a second, I'm still refreshing. So similarly I assume that he will allow me to then with the 6 the 6 is the turning into a full form as opposed to a 6 being turning into hybrid form, or what would you say?
Mhm. I would say the 6 is going full form.
In which case I am now full form then, which means I am a 20 by 20 fucking dragon.
It's kind of funny because you're a 20 by 20 and he's only a little 5 by 5. But he doesn't really seem intimidated by the bigger presence whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
And now, with you taking the form of the king, what will you do?
Yeah, good question. Alright, so what Aaron is going to do... Oh, alright. Now, the thing with the fruits that I create is that they're all great, but I don't use them all on their own. I have to get something special out of them myself, why don't I? And so Aaron is going to, using properties of the Seiryu and properties of the Yami Yami, he's going to use Bullet Seed. Particularly from the Seiryu, he is going to use, specifically, he's going to, with basically, because the Blue Dragon, has just a massive fucking breath weapon, that is lightning, fire, or ice, using it as lightning, and the Yami Yami's darkness negation powers, Aaron is going to use Bullet Seed to pierce directly into Sloth, or at least attempt to, basically, with such ferocity and such absorbing essence that it, even to him, or at least slightly to him, it manages to, like, remove some of his energy and just, like, it's a clean fucking hit because of the draconic power, as it were. So, come on, Aaron, my boy. You're rolling your best ability. If at any time you were to crit in this, now is the time. That is not a crit.
So with that, Sloth will counter roll. As the lightning bolt streaks
It is specifically
towards
4 lightning
darkness.
bolts.
The
3
4
lightning bolts. Sorry.
3
Yeah.
the 3 black energy consuming lightning bolts streak towards him. You see them basically come at him at 3 different directions. You see him grab the first one, and then 2 spectral arms appear out of nowhere and grab the other 2. And Aaron, you can tell that it's doing its job of sucking up energy. But there seems to just be a little too much as Sloth squeeze a little bit more and dissipates all of them.
And here I was, hoping to see a dragon use an arrow again. You disappoint me. However, there have been a number of things that you have done that have impressed me. For starters, you have been the only entity I have ever encountered to be able to touch Yahe. For that alone, I should give you what I seek. What you seek, I should say. With that, he kind of reaches behind himself as, he brings out a white orb and places it down and kind of taps it as a little fragment comes off. Now, I'm not completely aware of how you make your fruits, but tosses it as it slowly kind of floats through the air. I would say that this most likely will kill you if you try to make something out of it, considering what happened earlier with lust. So before you go and make one of your fruits out of it, I would recommend beefing up your endurance a little bit more. Congratulations. You have a fragment of the anatomasia named Sloth. As Aaron, not really being given time to respond, you feel yourself kind of just get the tree itself seems to move, grab you, and just pulls you back in. As you know, it seems like you got what you were looking for, Aaron.
Yeah.
But yeah.
To himself, obviously, as he's being dragged between realities. Fucking, you think I haven't been doing that? I wasn't expecting to fucking have a part of a stroke taking part of a horn. But duly noted. And thank you, sir. As he just fucking shifts out of being a dragon, takes the fragment and shoves it in his pocket.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was fun.
Yeah.
Man, I fucking love Kurozu because I just completely forgot about it, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
You were like, haha, Kurozu, and I was like, well, I guess you get to grab Yahe.
When Lus was saying, yeah, no, you probably want to use the arrow. That's gonna be like, you're like, and I'm like, and you're like, arrow's like, okay. But what if I just said, fuck you and the horse you rode in on, though? What if I did that?
But yeah. So, as a little bit of a wrap up, thank you, Ballast, for, not enlightening, but like, what's the fucking word? Appeasing? I don't know. Thanks for doing this. Appreciated. And yeah.
Yeah. If you want to see more instances of Aaron touching with powers beyond mortal comprehension due to the sheer greed of a mortal man's existence, make sure to join Fine Dining, our Discord server. There it is. Other than that, I think Aaron got what he was wanting today. I don't know if either of you have anything you want to say before we say goodbye to chat, everybody.
Join fine dining.
I just did that.
Oh, I'm gonna say it again. Join fine dining.
Fair enough.
Wait.
Alright. I'm guessing Zenz does not have anything he wants to say.
Not particularly.
Alright. See you later.